Okay guys, I'm without a camera guy today, so it's just myself here in the shop. So we're going to do some just quick fixing project, cleaning up around here, but no time lapse. So we're going to do some door maintenance. I want to show you what I had done. So we're going to use a little pin nailer. So to do one of these, it is pneumatic, which means air. You need to drop a couple drops right there in there, and then you need to connect it. Now I do have this on a regulator on the main line, so I don't have to worry about that part. So let's show you. I'm going to turn this that way so you guys can see where I'm at. Okay, let's get you guys up in a little closer. There we go. There. So what we're doing, guys, is this strip I took off to fix the door, and I'll show you that here in a second. But for what we're going to do, we're just going to pin nail right down in to the door. There, done, guys. It's just that quick. So let's set this off to the side. I'll show you why we had to take that frame off and put it back on, or technically the trim. So this door came with these smaller door latches, the savers here. So what I did, and this is something, if you have a garage or a shop, all your exterior doors should be done this way, guys. What you do is you get, see if I can get this in here, guys. There you go. Whoops. There we go. This long bracket. You see how that is? These screws here and here and here and here are 8-inch screws. 8-inch screws, guys. Let you go from here into here. So you hit the stud back here. This is not moving. Before it would move a little bit, and so we had to fix that. You know that trim's a little loose, guys. Why don't we throw one more brad into there? Oop, nice view of the ceiling. There you go. Hold on, guys. There we go. There we go. Nice and solid again. There we go. There we go. Just that simple, guys. Now, with this type of gun, or I shouldn't call it a gun, brad nailer, just that simple to unload it, keep these solid, close it, put on your dust cover. You're good to go, guys. Now, I know there's a couple gentlemen here that have mentioned the motorcycles. So let's talk about them for just a second. We have got those winterized. It's a little later than normal this year. It's so warm for so long. I didn't realize we were going to be out of winter so fast. So one of the things that we do on our bikes is we do run a trickle charger, because these batteries take so much they're so small now, guys. These batteries are tiny compared to a car battery. Right over here, guys. These car batteries right here, compared to these, are tiny. Matter of fact, the one in the background here, this is a riding lawnmower, and it's 1.5 size of a motorcycle battery, guys. So motorcycles have expanded so much, guys. There's so much electronics. These are fuel injected. So you're running computers. Some of them have tire pressure. The big Harleys, the Gold Wings, I believe some of the Indians, they are power dependent, man. They love to chew up batteries. So in the winter months, it is best to put these things on a trickle charge. Even if you're not riding it during the summer, it's best to keep them on a trickle charge, keep that battery up, because once they're dead, they're dead. Now I say that, and I'm going to give you another one of my tips and tricks. So on this bike, the battery had gone so low, the trickle charger could not read it. I didn't realize we didn't have it plugged in. We had blown a fuse on it, so it wasn't charging, and I wasn't paying attention to the charger. Okay, my fault. So as a tip and a trick, what you guys can do, it's a last resort. You can try different chargers that will bring back what they call dead batteries. The last resort is you take your battery and you hook it to another battery with jumper cables. And what that does is let that dead battery bleed off the good power from the good battery. And what happens is that bleeds off, it increases the amperage and the voltage in it to where your trickle charger can then read it. So I did that on this bike. It now reads just fine. But like I said, it's a last resort. It doesn't always work. If that doesn't work, you're going to have to replace the batteries, guys. So just another tip and trick here in the shop. So I know I've had some requests for that kind of stuff, and that's what we're doing. Another note, guys, on motorcycle batteries, because they're smaller. Okay, like I said, this isn't quite a motorcycle battery, but it's relative in size. You cannot use a big heavy charger and put them on Jackrabbit or the fastest charge possible, because that amperage is so high it'll cook the battery, literally boil it. And then you've ruined your battery. So most your batteries want to be charged, especially your motorcycle batteries. Your lawnmower one is about the top end of it, is about 1 amp, preferably 3/4 of an amp, 0.75. And that it brings it up slower without cooking it and put too much heat into that battery. You can get away, especially in wintertime, like in a shop where it's cooler, you can get away with about a 1.5, and that would be the max. All these trickle chargers that I use on the motorcycles are 0.75. The one for my sons was a 1.25. So it wasn't, it's right there in that safe range. And like I said, we're out here in the shop, so it was quite a bit cooler. But that's another thing you got to do, guys, is have the right charger for the right thing. Now, I wouldn't recommend a 0.7 trickle charger for a Duramax or a diesel or a car. It's not enough amperage to charge the battery. It's enough to maintain the battery, but it won't take it from a low state to a high state without a ton of time. So if you're having to charge it, that's when you get into the 5 amp, 10 amp, 20 amp chargers for larger batteries to bring them from a low state to a high state. Like I said, these batteries in these motorcycles are so small that you put 20 amps to them, you're going to cook them. Literally, they're going to be barbecue. They're going to steam out, crystallize, and then they're no good. And so batteries nowadays, even a motorcycle battery, you're pushing $100, $120. So just be safe out there, guys. Get ready for the next year. I'm waiting. It's December. I miss riding. Man, as soon as it warms up, I'll be out there. The wife will be out there. She's looking forward to getting another year of riding in. So, hey, guys, thanks for watching. There's going to be some more tips and tricks in here. Hey, guys, another tip and trick. So, here is my 60-gallon Husky charger air compressor that I have for the shop. Now, on this system, what I have done is I've plumbed it in. But one of the quick things that I did for safety reasons, if I can get this in here, sorry guys, not very well thought out, but I'm still learning this stuff. Right in there, guys. Here, let me get you guys right in there. This switch right here is for the compressor. This is a 220 switch. So it comes from the basement and it's 220. And yes, we do have the standard switch, but right here is your electronic motor, okay? Or electric motor, okay? With a reset and all that, and this gives you your amperage and your lines and all that. The problem is if this fails, this is where your fire is going to be, right beside your switch. You don't want to try to get your hand in here. This is your quick power disconnect from the house. So that's that, guys. The other thing I did was I actually installed an hour meter. Every time this turns on, it runs this hour meter. It was a quick, easy Amazon purchase. I don't know if you guys are seeing that okay. There we go. So this runs the hours. That way I know when I need to change the pump oil. And the other thing is make sure your pumps, guys, are where you can see your pump oil. As you can see, mine is right onto that perfect dot. Perfect. Also, make sure you have airflow. As you can see, guys, mine is fairly set back from the wall. Then I've got the 1-inch line coming out with a shutoff for itself. Goes up to a double dryer and a pressure regulator. Then it comes out, and I used PEX, guys. PEX is one of those things where it was quick and it was easy. So I spaced out my whole line. I've got another shutoff for the main one that goes up. And then I have another set. I've got an outlet. I've got, if I ever need to expand an outlet, and then this is the drain. And that's another thing you guys need, is drains on your air lines. So not to give you guys whiplash, but as you can see, my PEX just runs up down the corner of the garage, and then comes here and tees, and then goes over here and tees right in there. And so I have 4 outlets for the garage. One at the door, one here near my drill press where I could use it for air and cleaning things out, and another one right here by the workbench. And all of them have water drain. So the best way to set up your system, guys, and this, like I said, this is my opinion on the best way, is when you come down your line, you tee here, and this does have you guys probably can't see it, but there is a slight bend up. So if there is any water condensation, it does work its way down to here, and you drain it out. It's just that simple, guys. PEX is quick and easy. My house already had PEX plumbing. So all I had to do was buy the fittings. I already had the tool to crimp. And as you can see, I made some marks. Those were to orientate as I was putting it together, guys. That's all there is to it. A quick, easy system was just using PEX. And for my outlets, these are shower head. Screw right into the wall. It's tight. It's not coming out. Quick, easy connect, and you're in and out, guys. Okay, guys, another quick look at tips and tricks and maybe some tools you should have in your garage. Now, this is what I call my air tool drawer. I have a couple different air nozzles for cleaning things out. Rubber ones, non-rubber, large tube with adapters. These are always good to have. An assortment of quick connects for the airlines. Those come in handy if you have to borrow someone's. Maybe you need a quick, easy fix. I've got ghosts in here. They're moving things around for you guys. So the tip, air chucks. I have a couple of these that I could set up real quick on an air chuck if one breaks, or if I need to adapter one. As you can see, just a quick straight line chuck, because I do have an angled one, but sometimes a straight line is good. Here's another straight for duals, as they say. So that's that. Now the other thing in my air tools is my motorcycle gauges. You need to make sure that these work freely. You can also have these tested. So if you know your pressure regulator on your air compressor has is constant and that air pressure is good, you can buy what they call a Schrader valve and test these. I bring them to work because I know that theirs is a good tester, so I can test these at work and make sure, like this heavy duty one and my other ones are accurate. The other thing I keep in this toolbox, because of all my fittings for air tools, is Teflon tape. Just a little dab will do you. Just run it around your fitting and you're good to go. So the other thing I keep in the air tool drawer is a gauge, tire depth gauge. It's real simple to use. Just you put it right on your tire and you push down into the gauge, and then this will show you how many 30 seconds you have left. 30 seconds is the standard for taking a tire off. That is no longer legal in the industry. It's unsafe at 30 seconds. So why don't we take this and I'll give you a real good view on how to actually do this on a tire. So let's get you guys down a little lower here. Let's see, there we go. There you go. How about that, guys? So here's your grooves. You take it, push down, and read it. This tire is at 12:30 seconds. So this one is pretty good. This is a new tire. I know it's new. Now the other thing on tires you may want to know is down here in the tread, don't know if, there it is. Right there, it's tough to see, guys, is the wear bar. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here. There should be one about every 6 to 8 inches. Okay, guys? What that bar is, okay, it tells you 30 seconds. If you start seeing wear bars, it is time for new tires. Thanks for watching. Watch for more tips and tricks, guys. Hey guys, you may be wondering why a guy afraid of ladders and heights is on one right beside a garage door opener. Well, we're having to do a little bit of maintenance on it. It's been acting up, so I'm going to show you the maintenance you guys need to be doing on your garage doors too. So this is the Blaster kind. It's a garage door lubricant. They sell a couple different brands. So what you need to do is come in here and lubricate these hinge points. Along with your track a little bit. That way it works. The other thing you need to do, a lot of people forget, you need to load up those springs with just a little bit of lubricant themselves. So what that does is allow that spring to move on itself without binding. Doesn't take a lot, just a little bit, just like that, just to give it a little bit as it's turning. There we go. Now, when your springs are properly loaded, let's go into the safety thing first, folks. Those springs are highly dangerous. Those are not to be messed with, but by professionals. I don't mess with them. They can kill you, okay? So, that being said, when those springs are properly loaded, your garage door should be able to, you pull your safety release, and your garage door with one hand, very easily, should lift just like that. And it should stay there. That's the big thing. It should stay most spots where you stop it. See, gentlemen? That's a properly loaded spring. It shouldn't be pulling it up, shouldn't be allowed to come down. The springs act as a counterweight. They are hooked over here to these pulleys with a stainless steel cable that goes to the bottom of the door. That's what those springs are attached to this rod. And like I said, it's all under a bunch of tension, guys. So be careful. So let's finish up these doors. And like I said, get that track a little bit, especially where you see any rub marks. You know that's where it's rubbing and going in and out. And then all you have to do is, you can hear your door. Listen to that. Nice and clean. Now you can, and I do it about once a year, you can lube these hinge points. I don't have a straw for the end of this, so I'm not going to do it because it's going to get, as you can see, it gets a little messy without the straw. But that's the way that should work. Now, on the last bit is where we're going to get messy, guys. And we've gotten to the point where we're going to get messy, so we've got some gloves ready. This is some lithium grease, multi-purpose. Okay, guys? As you can see, it is, lithium grease. This is what we will grease the running track on. And that is, mine is a belt. Some of them are chains, but they all have the same thing. And that is a guideline. That steel guideline needs a little grease from time to time, about once a year, guys. Just take your grease, crawl on up here, take you a little dab, put it right in here, right in on the underside and right here. Because this is where this is running. And as you can see, I got a little old stuff right there. We'll just pull that out. We'll reuse it. But that needs to be lubricated so that thing runs nice and smooth on that track. If it doesn't run smooth, it will bind. And what will happen is as it comes down like this and binds, it will think that it's hit something and reverse. And that is a safety feature on all these from about, I think they started about 2000. They are very sensitive. There are adjustments, and that's another thing you will have to look at, and I'll show you that in a minute. But like I said, we need to just lube up the track on this. And when you're doing it like this, you should be able to feel your hand just kind of smooth over. If it's not smooth, if it's jerking, it's time to put some grease on. Mine's a little dry, guys, not gonna lie. It's time to get a little grease up there. Like I said, you don't have to slobber it on, but you need to, let it get on there and just put it on there, just let it work. There we go. There we go. Like I said, don't forget to get the top side of this rail up here. A lot of guys forget about that. That's an important part of this. is getting that top rail. That way this thing runs nice and smooth. Like I said, it doesn't have to be slobbered on, but it needs to have some. And just keep working your way down, guys. And like I said, pair of gloves. I mean, if you want to get greasy and put it on your hands, go for it. But I am a neat freak. I prefer to stay clean if I can. So, whoop, yeah, see there's a little bit of old stuff right there that just needs to be, there we go. See how that just runs right on down there? That's about your stop point. I can feel where it's kind of stops most of the time right there. We'll make sure that's good and lubed all the way up. And we'll make sure to get this other side. Get that track good and lubed. There we go. Now as that motor works it up and down, it'll actually smooth a lot of this off for me. So I don't have to do much more than that. Now, like I said, I have a belt. If you have a chain, you're going to have to do chain maintenance, which means oiling that chain. So that is the easiest way I know how to do the maintenance. And this is why you only get one glove at a time, guys. Not too bad. Just a little on the forearm. So, now that we're done with that, we'll go over here and hit it. Now, I have, like I said, released it, so when it comes back the first time, it will lock itself in. There it is. It's locked in. You can hear it. It is nice and smooth, and it is running down that track, and it's going to pile a little bit up and stop right about where I said it was. So, on the adjustment side, guys, on my brand, that adjusts your up, or excuse me, the down, and this adjusts your up. And what that does is your adjustment of travel. And back in here is the one for force. And that is something you need to check from time to time, guys. And it's fairly simple to check. The good standard way of checking it is with a roll of paper towels. If you don't have a set of paper towels, anything will kind of work that just, you know, that will let you test it. So why don't we just test it with a box of rags, guys? So we're going to come right here, and you can see where it normally closes right about there, and we're not in the line where it's going to pause. So we are going to turn it on, and when it hits the box, it should stop and reverse. Let's see if this works, gentlemen. There you go, guys. Now the force on that's a little hard, but I have tried to adjust it. That is about as light as force as I can get. Now, is that going to hurt somebody? Probably, but it's not going to kill them. It will allow it to, like you said, stop and bounce back. So that's just some simple garage door maintenance for you guys from the Z Family Garage. Guys, we'll see you in the next video.